Hello everyone and welcome to my May wrap up. So during the month of May I managed to finish 10 books. 8 of them I gave 4 stars to and 2 of them I gave 5 stars to. So this has been a pretty amazingly awesome reading month for me. So I'm going to start off with the books that I gave 4 stars to, and one of those was Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. This was a really funny, really sweet adult contemporary about Eleanor Oliphant, who has a distinct lack of social skills, but she has carefully scheduled her life to revolve around avoiding social interaction, drinking vodka, and weekly phone calls with her mother, who is less than complimentary about her, to be honest. So through a series of events, she meets Raymond, who is the IT guy at her work, and he kind of helps to bring her out of her shell a little bit, and she realizes that she's never really confronted the dark tragedy in her past. So it's a little bit like a kind of adult coming of age story. Eleanor is a really, really lovely, unique character to spend time with. She has an amazing, really unique personality, very unique way of seeing the world. I did write a full review of this on my blog, so I will leave a link to that review in the description down below, so you can maybe read that if you want to know my deeper thoughts and feelings on it. Another book that I read this month is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I first heard about this back in January. I heard that it was coming out this year and it sounded really, really good and right up my street. It's kind of like a cross between The Breakfast Club and Pretty Little Liars. It's about 5 teenagers who go into detention together and only 4 of them come out alive. And they do very much stick to the stereotypes set out in The Breakfast Club. So we have a nerd, a jock, a criminal, a princess, and an outcast. And the outcast runs a kind of gossip app where he posts like juicy gossip and secrets about people that he goes to school with. He does it kind of semi-anonymously, so he uses people's initials rather than full names, but still everybody knows exactly who he's talking about, and all of the secrets that he publishes do eventually transpire to be true. And the other 4 people in this situation have secrets that he knows about and therefore motives for wanting him dead. So it's very mysterious, very gripping, characters who you really do root for, which I really, really loved as well. I did write a full review of this on my blog too, so I will link that review in the description down below so you can maybe have a read of that if you are interested. Another book that I read this month is Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. This was a really lovely, fluffy YA contemporary romance about a girl who buys her crush a lottery ticket for his 18th birthday. He then wins $140 million on it, and it's basically just about him dealing with the aftermath of this. He learns who his true friends are, learns the best way to spend this money in order to benefit the most amount of people and things like that. Really lovely, really heartwarming. I was really emotionally invested in their friendship turned romance because it really reminded me of situations in my real life. So I was really, really able to attach myself to these characters, which really helped my enjoyment of it, I think. But I think a lot of people will be able to do that with these characters too, because they're just really, really lovely to read. And I did write a full review of this on my blog too, so you can obviously read my deeper thoughts and feelings on it on there. Another book that I gave 4 stars to this month is The Circle by Dave Eggers, and I know a film of this recently came out in the US and in a few other countries too, I think. It's not come out here in the UK yet, so I haven't seen it, but I've heard not great things about that film, unfortunately, because I really enjoyed this book. It's a kind of adult sci-fi dystopian sort of about a woman who gets a job at The Circle, which is a huge global multi-billion-dollar internet company that is always coming up with innovations and new inventions to do with making life supposedly better and easier for everyone. But she uncovers some dark, twisted secrets going on at the very heart of The Circle, and basically it's just about our obsession with the internet and why it's obviously quite dangerous to be posting seemingly private things to the entire world, and why it would be a bad thing to know literally everything about everyone. It was really, really interesting exploration of the dark side of the internet that we all know about, but it was really interesting to actually see it in action about what it would actually be like if everyone was completely transparent to everyone in the entire world. So I really, really recommend the book, and I would really like to see the film when it does eventually get to the UK, just so I can kind of compare the two. But yeah, I would certainly recommend the book because it was really, really interesting. And now on to the Harry Potter books that I read this month. As you might know, I am taking part in the Harry Potter readathon for this year, and I'm having the best time with it so far. So this month we read these two side books to the main Harry Potter series, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander and Quidditch Through the Ages by Kennel-Worthy-Wisp. Both of these books are so cute, so incredibly detailed. They originally came out in aid of Comic Relief quite a long time ago, but I'm going to start with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is, of course, the encyclopedia that Newt is writing in the film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it's literally just an encyclopedia of all of his Fantastic Beasts. So that's a bit on the centaur there. So it's got physical descriptions and then descriptions of behaviour and how they live and things like that. But more than that, there's also a foreword from Albus Dumbledore about why he thinks this is an important book in the context of the wizarding world and things like that. It's also got little notes between Harry, Ron and Hermione, because this is supposedly Harry's copy of the book. So it says in the front, this book belongs to Harry Potter, shared by Ron Weasley because his fell apart. Why don't you buy a new one then? Write on your own book, Hermione. You bought all those dung bombs on Saturday. You could have bought a new book instead. Dung bombs rule. So really cute, funny, quirky little notes between them, just to personalise it that little bit more. But yeah, it was really lovely, magical little read. And then Quidditch Through the Ages is literally just a history of Quidditch, how it came to be the game that we know it to be today. And again, very, very detailed, very, very informative. It's got loads and loads of history about how it started, and it's got, this is about all of the different fouls that you can do in Quidditch, so who they affect and what they actually are and what they actually mean and things like that. It's got bits about actual professional Quidditch teams, like, you know, notable achievements and things like that. And it was just really, really, really detailed, and it was just really lovely. So yeah, another foreword from Albus Dumbledore as well about why he thinks this is an important read for budding Quidditch players and things like that. So yeah, it was really, really lovely, and yeah, a nice little Quidditchy interlude to my weekend last weekend. And of course, this month we also read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling, and this is my countless reread of this book, and every time it gives me these lovely warm fuzzy feels just to be able to go back to where it all started and discover Hogwarts from Harry's point of view again. It's just really, really lovely. Every time I reread these books I pick up something different, and how often can you say that about a book, honestly? But yeah, really, really lovely to be able to read this again. Don't think I need to say too much more. And of course we also read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Chamber of Secrets I think probably is the one that scares me the most. Certainly the film is, anyway. That film literally physically terrifies me still, but it's really, really funny in places as well. I was reminded how much I love Professor Lockhart in this book. He's an amazing, hilarious character, and I really wish that he was in more books and not just this one. Certainly post-Chamber Lockhart is one of the most underrated characters of the entire series, so it's really, really lovely to see him again. I know I have been tweeting quite a lot during my reread of Harry Potter recently, so if you are interested in my initial reread reactions to Harry Potter, then certainly follow me on Twitter, because I have been quite active when it comes to my Harry Potter rereads recently. And now on to the two books that I gave 5 stars to this month. The first one is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. This is the third and final book in this story arc within the Court series. There will be more books set in this world, but this is the last in the Feyre and Rhys story arc that we've been following. A very battle-heavy, action-packed, fast-paced conclusion. I will say that I think if we're talking about individual books, I did prefer A Court of Mist and Fury to this one, just because, I don't know, I felt kind of more emotionally invested in them at that point, and I did get a little bit more frustrated with the chapters towards the end in this book, because it looked like it was going in one direction that I didn't like, and then it kind of quickly veered into another direction. She kind of just really, really played with my feelings towards the end, which I'm really, really frustrated about. But I gave it 5 stars because obviously it's the same characters that I've been really invested in, and I did really enjoy it, and I was reasonably happy with how things turned out in the end. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where the other story arcs in this overall Court series is going to go. So yeah, that is A Court of Wings and Ruin. And another book that I gave 5 stars to this month is Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a kind of Beauty and the Beast spin-off. Belle finds a magic book in the Beast's library, and because she's feeling so trapped and so lonely in the castle, she becomes obsessed with it. It transports her to this beautiful, perfect, idealistic world, but as is normally the case with beautiful, perfect, idealistic worlds, there is a lot of dark undertones to it, and she quickly, well, perhaps not so quickly, realises that not everything is as it seems, and it gets to the point where she literally has to escape it for her own safety. So ultimately it's about learning to live in your reality rather than constantly escaping to alternate worlds. Basically just learning to appreciate the little things about your reality and the people you love and the people that you share your life with and things like that. Basically, love conquers all, that kind of thing. Some really lovely quotes about books and how awesome they are in this. It's certainly a book for book lovers. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you like your kind of magical fairy tale, obviously romantic reads. And that is it for my May wrap up. What books did you read this month? Please let me know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.